What's going on, guys? It's your boy Big Hero Kris back at you with another one. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, give me a thumbs up, ring the notification bell, hit me up on Twitter, TikTok, the community post. You already know the vibes. And I'm back at you with your AEW All Out review. And I'm gonna do some gimmick infringement. I'm gonna steal Mark Briscoe's gimmick and do the word of the day, because today's word is violence. That was the theme of this show. That was the theme of this pay-per-view. Just violence and hate and anger and attempted murders. There was so much attempted murder, man. Shout out to Simon Miller and the crime counter. That crime counter is out the window, because my God, man, they should change the name of this from All Elite Wrestling to All Elite Criminals, All Elite Felons, All Criminal Wrestling, because a lot of these wrestlers should be in jail for the things that they done on this pay-per-view, man. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying. So I'm gonna just go ahead and just get the extreme violence out the way and start with this unsanctioned steel cage match between whose house? Swerve's house. Swerve versus Hangman Adam Page. And my God, man. Even earlier on in the show, they showed on both Hangman and Swerve pulling up to the arena. They had security. They said that they kept these two separate. They kept them in their own locker rooms just so they couldn't be able to get their hands on each other. It's just a lot going on in this year-long feud, and it culminated in this unsanctioned lights out steel cage match. Ooh boy, there was cinder blocks and needles and and burnt wood and stabbings and barbed wire and cinder blocks, man. My tables. I'm like, good God, man. The only thing that was missing was somebody pulling out the blick and just, handling business the old Arn Anderson way. But yeah, man, Hangman finally did it. He finally beat Swerve. He didn't necessarily pin him. The referee ended up stopping the match because the way the match ended was, for some reason, Hangman ripped out Swerve's grill. He put a syringe in this dude's mouth. You could see the needle sticking out of Swerve's face, and then he hit him with the most violent steel chair shot you ever saw. The referee stopped it, and I did notice that Hangman didn't necessarily get the pin. Swerve didn't tap out. He didn't get pinned, but Hangman did end up winning the match due to the referee's stoppage. Hangman actually came out through the heel tunnel. This whole time, Hangman has been coming out the face tunnel, even though he's evil, he's a bad man, his mustache is taking over. He still saw himself as the face, and this match was the first time he actually really went all in, embraced the fact that he is the bad guy, embraced the fact that he is the villain, coming out of the heel tunnel, playing up to the crowd, being even more heelish than he already is. And yeah, man, this was just craziness. So much blood, and he stuck a needle in the man's mouth. I'm like, yo, I thought I was seeing some crazy things in wrestling from both AEW and WWE. That was probably the most crazy thing I've ever seen. And I think I ever will see. I don't know, man. I really enjoyed the match, though. That's the sick thing. What's wrong with me, right? But I actually really did enjoy the match. Whew. What they do from this point, I don't know. Like, how long do you keep Swerve off television? Is there any ways Hangman can come back and be a face again? I don't know. Not anytime soon. This dude, he's lost it. He's gone crazy. Ooh. And the show ended with Hangman just looking up into the sky and just yelling, yeah! So, yeah, man. And if that wasn't violent enough, you had the AEW Championship match between Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon, and Jack Perry. Now, going into this match, I knew the match would be fine because they're both good wrestlers. My whole issue was the fact that I'm not really into the whole scapegoat character. Not saying that I don't like Jack Perry, I do. I like Jack Perry when it was a face. I like Jack Perry when he first turned heel. A lot of people weren't really on board. I was willing to give the man a shot. And even though he had the events of All In last year, and he was and Jack Perry was suspended, even though in my opinion he didn't really do anything wrong, and then he was really treated unfairly. He comes back with his scapegoat gimmick, and I see what he's going for. I don't know. I just can't really get into it. But, you know, people like it. He's doing this thing. He's getting a good reaction in Chicago. The people are booing him. They're chanting CM Punk. They're singing, "Oh, Cry Me a River." And like I said, man, you have two good professional wrestlers, so you already know the match is going to be on point. The one thing that had me crying was the way that Jack Perry was selling the Busaiku knee. Like every time Bryan Danielson would hit the knee on Jack Perry, this dude would fly all the way across the ring. It was really funny to me. You had shenanigans, you had a ref bump, you had the Young Bucks come out and run interference. They're beating up Bryan Danielson. They hit the TK driver. You even had the Blackpool Combat Club come out and make the save for Bryan Danielson, and they run off the Young Bucks, and Bryan Danielson ended up getting the win. And as the match is ending, it's concluding, it's wrapping up, Luchasaurus comes out and he attacks Bryan Danielson. And they have there's a moment between Luchasaurus and Jack Perry where they're looking at each other, the two former tag team partners, Jurassic Express, their former tag team champions. They have a moment, and then Christian Cage comes out, and I'm thinking, nah, this can't end like this, man. This can't end like this. He's not gonna take the edge route and pull a Money in the Bank cash in, and it didn't happen because the Blackpool Combat Club make the save. They stopped Christian from cashing in. And it was the Blackpool Combat Club with Jon Moxley. And I'm like, something is about to go down, because Jon Moxley has been surprisingly distant from the BCC since he's returned. And now all of a sudden he's back, he's linked up. He's hugging Bryan Danielson. They're all celebrating. And I'm like, something is about to happen. And what ended up happening is the BCC ended up attacking Danielson. Claudio hits the uppercut. Bryan Danielson it's looking like he's about to cry. Speaking of about to cry, you have the BCC attacking Bryan Danielson. Pac is holding off Willow Yuta. Willow Yuta's looking like he's about to cry because they're beating up his mentor. The BCC is pretty much imploding. And the word of the day, violence. Jon Moxley pulls out a plastic bag and pulls it over Bryan Danielson's head. And you hear commentators saying, "Yo, don't do this. You're gonna kill him. You're gonna kill him." And Jon Moxley's really knocking it in. He's got this plastic bag over Bryan Danielson's head. Eventually, you know, referees and officials come out and break this up. And you have the medical team come out with oxygen trying to keep Bryan Danielson from dying, pretty much. But it's like, yo, this is the end of this form of the BCC. And it's awkward because the BCC, they're the trio champions. And one of those champions is Willow Yuta. So what happens? Is Willow Yuta gonna get in line? Is he gonna fall in line and join up with the BCC? Is he gonna fight against the BCC with Bryan Danielson? We'll see, man. We just gotta wait and see. But I didn't see this coming at all. I didn't know what Jon Moxley had in store with his new, whatever he has going on with Marina Shafir. And now it's looking like it's the BCC and Marina going up against Bryan Danielson and possibly Willow Yuta. So I'm locked in for Dynamite. It's one of those things where you have more questions than answers, and you just got to pay attention and watch and see what happens. I guess we got to talk about the tag team match between the Young Bucks and the BCC. The Young Bucks win. They're still your tag team champions. But again, what the fuck? What the hell is going to happen? And you also have Pac wrestling Will Ospreay. And that was a fire match. Like, they're all doing flips and yelling at each other in British and whatnot. Will Ospreay ends up getting the win. This was a really fire match. Again, 1/3 of the trio champions. So, whew, dang, goddamn. And even more violence, you have the Chicago street fight between Willow Nightingale and Kris Statlander. And again, man, blood and glass and steel chains. Stokely Hathaway ran away like a little bald bitch. And to my surprise, man, I picked Willow Nightingale to win. But Kris Statlander actually got the win. She ended up choking out Willow with the steel chain. I don't know if Willow tapped out or passed out, but Kris Statlander ended up getting the win. So yeah, man, so much violence on this show, man. Another match that I thought was gonna be a little bit more violent. It was a good overall match, but I don't know. I have more questions about this than I do answers. You have the opening match between MJF and Daniel Garcia. MJF is making his entrance. Daniel Garcia attacks him. He doesn't even make his own entrance. He just starts beating up MJF. And then the match was good. It was a really good match, but it didn't feel like a blood feud type match. It started off that way, but then it just turned into a really good wrestling match. And you didn't really get into the heat and the violence and the anger until the end, where MJF actually won. I was picking Daniel Garcia to win because I don't know. I was under the assumption that Daniel Garcia was gonna stay with AEW. Now I'm not too sure because it looks like he did business. He put over MJF. After the match, it looked like MJF was gonna get the shake Daniel Garcia's hand, but he was just being dick MJF. And he was going for the low blow. Daniel Garcia caught him, hit him with the low blow of his own, spit on MJF, hit him with the pile driver, and that's how it ends. So the way it's ended, MJF got the win. Daniel Garcia got his comeuppance. And it looks like the feud is over, so I don't really know what's going on. I don't know if Daniel Garcia is going to stay with AEW. I don't know if he's going to WWE. I don't know, man. The way it looks, it kind of looked like Daniel Garcia is out the door. I don't know. I'm just speculating. I'm not sure, man. I could just be totally wrong about this, but that's the vibes I got, man. So, yeah. So we got a fatal 4-way match for the Continental Classic Championship. You have Okada taking on Takeshita, taking on Orange Cassidy, taking on Mark Briscoe. And I said this before, I'll say it again. I just wanted to see Takeshita versus Okada. And it looked like we were going to get that. And then you had Orange Cassidy interrupt. And everyone just started went, boo. I was at home going, boo. Okada ended up getting the win. But I still want that Takeshita Okada one-on-one match. I'm praying for it. I'm manifesting it. I'm hoping it happens. It needs to happen. It has to happen. And I think the last match that I'm going to talk about is Shida versus Mercedes. And it was good. It was a good match. It was a whole lot better than Mercedes' last match in AEW against Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, who we haven't seen since that match. Mercedes ended up getting the win, man. It was a solid match. I was expecting shenanigans because Camille was banned from ringside, but we didn't really get any outside interference. It was looking like Shida was going to hit Mercedes with the kendo stick, but it didn't happen. Mercedes ended up getting the win, and she's still your TBS champion. So yeah, man, All Out. I feel like I gotta read a Bible after this. I gotta go pray or meditate or drink some holy water. I don't know what I gotta do. But with that being said, guys, what did you think of AEW All Out? Let me know in the comment section below. Of course, as always, like, comment, and subscribe. You guys take care. Bees, I'm out. Peace.